comes. Hey, Grandpa.
Commentary, Grandpa. Wow.
Commentary. Oh, we're at the Kennedy Space Center here in the Rocket Garden. Just getting started. We've got our tickets.
There's some kind of a walking
Please, ladies and gentlemen, for any visitors waiting for the walking tour of the Rocket Garden, it will start over by the building in 2 minutes. For anyone waiting for the walking tour of the Rocket Garden, it will start over by the building in 2 minutes. Thank you.
We're going to pick up a walking tour here in about 2 minutes.
Z, Alan Shepard became the United States' first man to be launched into space. That was on May 5th of 1961. Alan Shepard reached an altitude of 160 miles and his flight only lasted 15 minutes. Now over on this side we have the Mercury Atlas. The Mars. It was also used on December 4th to launch the Mars Pathfinder. The Mars Pathfinder is in 1960s. We still use a version of an Atlas rocket today. The Atlas rockets are launched from Complex 36 on the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. We had an Atlas launch on December 17th. It launched an Inmarsat communications satellite. Particular activity, otherwise simply known as a spacewalk. We learned that the astronauts could leave the safety of their capsule and survive the environment outside. We also learned very important rendezvous and docking procedures that we would need to know to send men to the moon. Now, speaking about sending men to the moon, if you follow me over here, I'll show you the lunar module. It's used as a launching platform for the astronauts when they left the moon. The upper stage, or ascent stage, was used to transport the astronauts back to their command module. Now, if you'll take a look at the white squared area on the front of the upper stage, this is the door which would allow the astronauts to go in and out while they were on the moon. There's a ladder that was pulled out. There's another door on the very top which they would go through to get back to the command module. Now, how many of you remember the lunar rovers? And it's the type of rocket which was used to launch Apollo or the Apollo-Soyuz mission in 1975. Apollo-Soyuz was a joint mission with the Russian cosmonauts. Now, we do have the real Apollo-Soyuz command module that's located on the Saturn V stop at the bus tour. Now, the Saturn V rocket, which was used to launch men to the moon, is quite a bit larger than the Saturn 1B. Once again, if you take the bus tour today, it's about 5 miles. It's to the west and left of the assembly building. So at daytime, it's only placed right over.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm saying, well, it doesn't mean it doesn't look, I mean, you can tell it's a rocket and hear the bell horn and all that, but what I'm saying is the hardware on it, you know.
Okay.
You got things safety wired, you got expansion ductwork, C-band clamps.
now we have the first space mission. They've got set up here. Kids are all ahead of me, walking up to the module so they can see what it looks like inside. Come to what they call the white room. This is where they
Those power lines in the tallest pine tree, you'll see a baby sitting up in the nest up there. See the baby? That's water. 300,000 gallons of water in 20 seconds. Hits the exhaust of the shuttle in that deep trench. Now that water reduces the noise and the vibration. It does something else. It produces what most people just assume is smoke. That beautiful white smoke you see at liftoff is not smoke at all. It's steam from the water hitting the exhaust of the shuttle down in the deep trench. Now,
Look at the waves. Look at Grandpa today. Look at Grandpa.
Nikki!
Nikki, look at Grandpa.
Where are you, Nikki?
Hey, Mom. Come out. How much is that picture of you?
Right here at the launch pad site, the center here. We got 2 launch pads out here. Make a swing around. That's back at the assembly building. We're about 3 miles out from that. There are tour buses out here at the center.
The steel tower you see rising up 247 feet is the fixed service structure. We use it to gain access to the shuttle. Connected to the fixed service structure is the rotating service structure. We put payload for the shuttle inside it.
The space shuttle usually spends several weeks on the pad before a launch, undergoing extensive checkouts. 8 or 9 hours before launch, the ground crew begins loading 500,000 gallons of fuel into the external tank. 3 hours before launch, the space shuttle begins to lift off the pad with 7 million pounds of thrust in a cloud of steam and a trail of fire.
Sally, what does it feel like to be inside the shuttle during launch?
I'll never forget it. The beginning of the ride was very rough and loud. The rockets and the engines were thundering, and my head was rattling around inside my helmet. But after 2 minutes, the solid rocket boosters burned out and separated from the shuttle. Suddenly, the ride became very smooth and quiet. 6 minutes after launch, a force of 3 Gs, 3 times the force of gravity we feel on Earth, pushed me back into my seat, and it was hard to move my head to read the instruments.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the firing room. In a moment, you will witness the events of December 21st, 1968, the day that would become the turning point in America's quest to land a man on the moon, the day Apollo 8 would begin its epic voyage.
Waiting for launch on that chill December morning, these 3 astronauts were back to what they had always been, test pilots. You are now in the final minutes before the launch of Apollo 8, right here where it actually happened. Mankind is about to leave his planet behind and journey to another. It is one of those rare moments when history is not being made, destiny is being embraced.
This is launch control, T-minus 3 minutes and counting. We've completed our communications checks with the Apollo 8 astronauts in the cabin, and the communications are go. During this period, and the pressure's still building up. Coming up in 90 seconds, Mark, T-minus 90 seconds incoming. The Apollo 8 crew standing by, spacecraft Commander Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, Bill Anders. We now report that the liquid hydrogen tank. We have the power transfer. We're now, the engines are on. 4, 3.
Radio communications break down. Messages to Eagle must be relayed through Mike Collins aboard the command module Columbia. Throughout the crucial final checks, contact with the Eagle keeps dropping out. And Flight Director Gene Kranz inches closer to a fourth mission.
Hey, we got data back. Radar flight looks good.
With the vital computer links temporarily holding, the moment of decision is now.
Okay, all flight controllers, don't go for landing. Retro. Go, Idaho. Go. Guys, go. Roll. Go. Telcom. Go. ENC. Go. Econ. Go. Surgeon. Go. Capcom, we're go for landing. Eagle Gibson, you're go for landing. Over. Roger, there. Go for landing.
3,800 miles per hour, Neil Armstrong notices his checkpoints are all appearing too soon. This means a serious navigation error.
He thinks they're a little bit long downrange.
At these speeds, 3 seconds long means missing the safe landing zone by 3 miles.
We got data drop down. Still looking good.
Suddenly, the computer starts firing the maneuvering thrusters, jolting the ship back and forth. This has happened in simulations, but never this much, never this violent. The smooth descent is becoming a bumpy ride. Before that is fixed,
Program alarm.
a problem with the onboard computer.
The 12 is forward. Roger, Frank. Well, let's see. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
A short time later, history is made again.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
For one incredible moment, we are one people with one history, watching our destiny unfold.
That's one small step for man, one
With these first steps, mankind stood on the highest ground, and we saw our planet as our home port in the endless ocean of space.
There was something which was surprising to me. That occurred as I was standing on the surface. Just after we had landed, I'd gone down, standing on the surface and looking at planet Earth for the first time. Seeing the beauty, seeing the finiteness of it, the limits.
You need a drink? We need to find you a drink then.
We gotta get out of here.
We do?
We have a car.
Why do we gotta get out of here?
There's another picture, guys. Get in that concrete wall there, then you're in front of the whole lengthway. Yeah, in that concrete ravine right there. Then you'd be in front of the whole vehicle.
Wait, Scott.
Scott, get down. The man wants just the thing. Get down.
All right.
And then we'll get our family started.
Here, there's the drinking fountain. Come on, found it. Found the drinking fountain. Go here. Looks like Explorer needs a little PM on his paint job, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Move it.
Yes, buddy. Another drink? Hey, come on. Sorry, buddy.
1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 turtles.
Big ones too, aren't they?
1, 2, see 1, 2, 3.
Look for a drink. Watch out, that's a slimy spot right there, buddy. Don't walk into that. Big one from Mama.
1, 2, 3, 4. See, guys, those 3 go together. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You control him or what? Is that what you're saying?
No, if he just takes one leap, he's gone.
Okay, guys, get down.